up, G-Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G-Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. Before we get into it today, just want to say, if y'all haven't already, check out the last one we did, the retrospective on the Heisei series. It was such a blast doing that podcast. I had a hell of a lot of fun that night. We did an after party also. It was a nutty, I think we went 5+ hours last week. It was just nuts, but such a fun podcast. So if you haven't checked it out, please, man, go check that out. Trust me, it's a fun one. It's a fun one. But that's then. This is now. Joining me today is my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show. My brother from another mother, G73, a.k.a. Megzy, a.k.a. Chase. What is going on?
Oh, man, I just, just trying to relax. The quote of the day or the theme of the day I think that the world needs right now is just save the earth.
So she's,
yeah.
There is turmoil.
And it's kind of fitting since, yes, there is a lot going on. And that song needs to be the theme song of the planet.
Man, listen, we're not going to get political with it, but it's just, I honestly hope that this doesn't escalate into things, that we don't need to see. Hopefully the world wars stay in the past and this can be settled somewhat differently. Because I don't think the world is ready for something else to come and smack it in the face. Unless, of course, it's a giant kaiju.
Yeah, we just gotta hope the treaties stay true. But
that's not...
Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about.
Absolutely not. So please, I hope you didn't leave us. We are talking about Godzilla, obviously, here on the Godzilla Block Party. And to be more specific, more merchandise. Because honestly, that seems to be the only thing happening as of late when it comes to Godzilla. There is a ton of merchandise. Toho is doing so many new things. We've got a whole bunch of new toys coming out. We got Gigan's 50th anniversary this year that Toho's been promoting hard for the past week now. Doing a special screening come March of Godzilla vs. Gigan. I don't know if they're restoring it in 4K. I'm not sure if I read that correctly. But I know they're definitely having some fun with Godzilla vs. Gigan. But yeah. And another thing I will touch upon. Could there possibly be a new Godzilla Toho movie on the horizon? We're not so sure just yet, but we will speculate. And when me and Brother Chase get down with the speculations, it's one hell of a podcast. So, but before we get into that, let's talk about that merchandise and stuff. So, brother, you know what's going on. What has Toho been doing as far as licensing Godzilla goes?
Gosh, they've just been going more gung-ho on, trying to bring Godzilla over to the States more, overseas. We have some new clothing lines coming out by the company Ghost X Ghost, and they'll be doing some clothing. You can see some of their work for actually one of their Godzilla shirts they're working on is an old nod to 1954. And it's kind of green and purple, and it looks kind of nice. But they'll be doing not just clothing, but posters and pins and just other types of apparel based off of Godzilla and related characters. But Toho is basically just giving out some more licenses. We also have another company here called Hero Within, and I guess they're a clothing line too. I'm not too familiar with them, but they're doing some Godzilla stuff, and they will be revealing all of their things at WonderCon, which will be in April.
Oh, that's right around the corner.
Yes, they also are a clothing company, and they do a whole bunch of licensing for clothes and stuff. So we're getting a lot of clothes in the States, which is interesting because that's one thing we haven't really had is official Godzilla clothing in the States. I mean, you can get fan-made stuff and movie stuff based, when Legendary comes out, but nothing ever really official from like Toho themselves. So that would be interesting to see.
I know you buy a couple of Godzilla shirts at like Hot Topic and Kohl's. There's one particular one from Kohl's that I wish I could get, but they don't have my size, so I'm always disappointed.
Yeah. I actually, the shirt, I have one shirt from Hot Topic, the King of the Monsters one, but yeah, I'm interested to see what else they can put out. They're going to bring it out. But the other thing is they're giving Playmates Toys a more extended count of figures, and those have all been released. They have the poster version of Godzilla 2014 of the I think it's the Forbes or one of the posters. No, Entertainment. It was the Entertainment magazine, I think, and it's that figure is going to be that poster version where he kind of looks bird, like he's like black and orange. He looks like birding Godzilla, but he's not. He's just the poster, right. Which is very interesting. And they have They actually have some. We have a Kong figure with his chain propeller from Skull Island, which I think is pretty cool. And they're doing Shin Godzilla figures and Godzilla Singular Point. And on top of that, I think that's the close as it is for more merchandise as far as I know. I mean, we also have Haya Toys doing Godzilla figures. And I think they are doing figures for King of the Monsters and Godzilla versus Kong. Something they announced is they're doing some type of Shin Japanese Hero Universe, which is a cross mashup of Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman and Shin Evangelion and Shin Kamen Rider, and it's I don't really know what that's about. I don't know if it's a film or a cartoon coming out, but
I think
there's
it's just
something like that coming out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a film. I think it's just like a bunch of publicity stunts where they're going to use all of them in some kind of I don't know, like some event or something. It won't be a movie. There might be some video. They might do some quick shorts, 2 minutes to tease this movie or
like
that
a little
movie.
Short video.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Another thing that's brought up is Super 7. That company, that brand, they are doing Godzilla figures.
Oh yeah, we talked about this one last week. Yep, we talked about that. We talked about the ones that came out and the Ultimates line they're coming out with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Haya Toys. This one is interesting because they're basically going to be doing a whole bunch of Godzilla figures for King of the Monsters and a couple other figures, but they're kind of making it seem like Haya Toys is taking over the Godzilla figure license for like more quality, higher figures other than X Plus. So that's interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Other than that, we have the Mezco.
Yes.
The Mezco figures that have dropped, which are really cool.
I am still waiting for my Destroy All Monsters Mezcos. Come on, Big Bad Toy Store.
Don't those come out in the summer?
Oh, I think one set was supposed to come out. I don't know if it was supposed to come out now or in March. I mean, I'm impatient right now, and I'm a patient guy, but I'm being impatient. I want them now.
Yeah, and especially with the way the world is, everything's all taken slow.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, but I digress. I did. Did you?
That's an understatement, okay? I want my PS5, damn it.
Did you see the Mezco Godzilla versus Smog Monster set that's coming out?
Yeah.
Dude, that
The
thing looked
Mezco
amazing.
Smog. What's that?
That thing looked amazing.
Yeah. I am getting really impressed with Mezco. I mean, I don't have any Mezco figures, but what I've been seeing from the Destroy All Monsters line and the Smog Monster stuff, I think I just would love them just to take over the line completely. You know, I give us Heisei figures, give us Millennium figures, give us the legendary figures. Just I think Mezco is affordable. I think Mezco is very. They have quality figures, and I think that's who should take over the line. I would be totally on board with them.
I look at Mezco and I think straight just the show up from what I've seen so far, from just the Destroy All Monsters, the Godzilla versus Hedorah stuff that they're doing now. I'm like, they are absolutely nailing the Showa look. They are nailing it. And being that it's Gigan's 50th anniversary, I'm over here like, well, what if they do a Gigan set next? Because they did they're coming out with the Hedorah one, and Hedorah just had a 50th anniversary. So
yeah,
here we go. Now we're getting into that territory here. You got Gigan, Megalon next year. Like the Mecha Godzilla is going to be 50 in 2 years. Like here we go. And I would love to see Mezco do something like that. Like, for instance, Godzilla versus Gigan. What if Mezco does, because they have an Anguirus and they have a King Ghidorah in their Destroy All Monsters pack, right? But what if they did like a King Ghidorah, the weird puppet thing that they used for the flying scenes that had the red eyes? I'd totally buy that. I'd totally buy that. I'd be like, oh, nuts. Because it's so wacky out there. And I love it. I do love it. Dude, I would buy that.
You know what I want? I want them to have the Godzilla and Anguirus have voice buttons on them so they can talk to each other.
Do you want the original Japanese squeal or the Americanized "Hey Anguirus, come on"?
The American one, yes.
Dude, so I mean, think about it like this, right? We look at the Hedorah set, and it comes with some cool stuff, right? The little accessories like Hedorah's first attack on land when it's still like not a tadpole, but before it stands upright. It's got the smokestack. It's got the buildings. It looks cool.
He's the flying saucer form.
Right. Now think about a Godzilla versus Gigan Mezco pack. There's no way we don't get Godzilla Tower in there. Dude.
That would be awesome.
Right. I want Godzilla Tower. Are you kidding me? I want a Godzilla Tower. So, I mean, just seeing what Mezco's been doing, especially with the Showa movies, and considering, Showa it's got the biggest library of Godzilla films. Hell, you don't even have to do like 1954. You could leave that alone. But start from like Godzilla Raids Again and do black and white figures of that Godzilla and that Anguirus. Remember, that Anguirus is very almost crocodilian, like its snout is longer, and then just make them black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm sold. And hell, what if you could do a King Kong versus Godzilla? Yo, I would totally be down for a Mezco Kong.
I mean, their King Kong figure they made was great. So, I mean, I don't think why it would be out of the realm of possibility.
Holy smokes! Now that I think about it, oh my god,
they could have the Kong one in the balloons.
I have that Mezco Kong. I just realized that was Mezco. Like I didn't know what Mezco was when I bought that Kong. We're talking about the 33 Kong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a giant. He's pretty big, right? Like that. Holy smokes! I have that.
If I remember right, I don't remember his size. I mean, I thought it was just a 6-inch figure,
All
but he
right.
came with an Andero and some accessories.
I gotta look in my
I
boxes.
just remember it being called. Yeah, I just remember Mezco doing the Kong.
I gotta look at my boxes, but I mean, again, from what I've seen of their Godzilla line, please just give me more. Give me more. By the way, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear me sounding all nasally and stuff, the wind's been blowing. Nevada's been crazy. It's been 78 degrees one day. The trees start to bloom. The flowers start to bloom. The pollen starts to go all over the place. And then it's 40 degrees the next day and the wind is blowing from the north. So then the trees die, but the pollen is all over the place. So my allergies have been kicking my ass. It's bad. So I apologize for sounding really nasally today and doing that because it's annoying. But the Mezco stuff, yes. I want to, pre-order that Godzilla vs. Hedorah stuff, but I also want my Destroy All Monsters stuff first. Like I don't want to just start pre-ordering and get my hopes up and then, not getting any of them. And that upsets me. That annoys me, and I'll be disappointed. But at the same time, still looking forward to, hey, would you do a Godzilla vs. Gigan so I can get a Godzilla Tower? Next year with Megalon's 50th, I want a quality Megalon figure. Why can't I have a quality Megalon figure aside from my Bandai? I want one.
They should make it where the drills on his hand can swivel. I would love that.
Ooh, some articulation points.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I can see this. I can see the set now. You have that, right? Some articulation. I love that Godzilla look. It's one of my favorites. Jet Jaguar, obviously, but then a mini Jet Jaguar too. Like, how cool would that be?
That'd be cool.
Like a mini Jet Jaguar where he's like flying. His arms are out, his legs are together. Like, oh,
yeah,
absolutely. Just keep giving that to me. Just keep giving it to me. I would absolutely love it. And then, of course...
And that one also has Gigan, so they could do a Gigan set with that.
Exactly. So I'm like, man, listen, even if it's a repackage of, because, like, the difference between Gigan's King Ghidorah and King Ghidorah from when we last seen him in Destroy All Monsters is, again, there's that one, puppet. Or just that the flying... puppet, yeah, the flying puppet version with the red eyes.
For the most part.
Yeah, you could totally do that, and that'd be so freaking cool. I'd be like, I'm buying it. That's mine. I want it. But yeah, then you just keep going. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. You get this Mechagodzilla, dope ass Godzilla, and King Caesar, and then
Anguirus,
and Broken Jaw Anguirus. Oh shit! Clone Godzilla. Why not? Let's just go for broke. I'd pay $100-something for that.
And
I
all
can't
they
lie.
could do, they could just paint his arm silver, like a little silver bar on the side of his arm.
Absolutely, dude. I'd pay $100+ for that. I won't even lie. If I could get like clone like Mechagodzilla in the Godzilla skin, that look. Then of course Godzilla with a broken jaw and Anguirus. Oh, I'd pay that. I'd pay it. Yeah, here's my money. Even though I doubt it would be that much because the Mezco Destroy All Monsters line comes with like 4 or 5 monsters in each set, and I think $80, $75 or something. So
yeah, it came out to like they were selling it for like, I don't know, it was like almost $20 a piece per figure, which I think is totally worth it.
Agreed. Absolutely.
So that's what I wanted NECA to do, which, I mean, today when you brought up, that one Predator figure and stuff, and it pisses me off because when I see NECA neglect, I'm sorry, but we're going into this territory. In my opinion, NECA neglected the Godzilla line. I'm sorry. They dropped those balls, and I hated it. I hated it so much because the figures were crap. But when I see their Predator figures are always beautiful. Their Alien figures, always beautiful. If it comes to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, great figures. But when it came to Godzilla, everything was awful. And I just wished we had a company. And the thing is, Mezco looks like the second best thing coming. And it just, I hope, like, if these figures sell really well, they can get more figures to do. And we can get more figures, Like I said, like, I would love to see a Heisei line or Millennium line or Legendary line. I would love to see that. I want a good quality 6-inch 1984 Godzilla, and NECA's the only thing we had that's really done that, and it's crap too.
Yeah, no.
So
yeah, if I could get a quality 84 figure, it's bought. It's bought. The only 84 figure I have is the repaint of the NES King of the Monsters game.
Yeah,
that's what I have, and I love it. I can't lie; it's still in the bag. I love that. I love it, because I love the idea that NECA went and did a video game version of Godzilla. But you're right. You're absolutely right. When you bring up the Predator, the Aliens, the Ninja Turtles, especially the Ninja Turtles, and what I love about the Ninja Turtle ones is it's based off of the cartoon series. So when when I was a kid growing up, I loved the Ninja Turtles. When that show came on, that was it. It was like it was directed exactly at my age. That was, they got me. They got me. That's where they were going. And so when I was yeah.
No, continue. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Oh no, yeah. So like,
I'll wait.
So like when I went to go buy Ninja Turtle toys. And I'm buying these toys, and they don't look like how they look in the cartoon. I'm kind of like confused. Like, what is this? What's going on? I had no idea about the comic books yet. So when I found that, I was like, oh, these are dope because they're the comic book version. But when NECA started bringing out legitimate Ninja Turtles cartoon accurate figures, they don't skimp. But it's easier to do that. It's easier to take a cel-shaded cartoon and create a figure as opposed to a live-action suit, and make a figure, in my personal opinion. Especially something that's supposed to be 300 feet in scale. And then they have to scale it down.
Yeah, but I mean, so here's the thing with that. What I was going to say is even the Gargoyles figures that they made a couple months ago, those looked spectacular when they came out. Again, another cartoon.
Right.
But however...
And I will say real quick, I will say this in regards to the cartoon figures. They are absolutely perfect. Any of the cartoon figures that they do are perfect. It's when you see the aliens. It's when you see the predators. It's when you see the gremlins. Right? And the attention to detail to these practical suits from live action movies. That's where I 100% agree with your frustrations. Wait, you can nail this, but you can't nail that?
Right.
That I agree with.
Well, it's like I take their last Godzilla figure they made for the biggest criticism, the Biollante figure, because the 89 figure to me is one of the most easiest figures you could have done, and that figure it's like they tried to make it a cartoon, and maybe that's why. Maybe that was their motive, because it has such a blocky face, it has big old cheeks, it looks like a mouse. It has like a mouse head, and I hated it. I hated it, and it's like I really wanted to buy it and like it, but I just couldn't, and I just don't justify spending probably the $30-$40 it's going to take to find one now. But I mean, even their 2014 NECA figure, that figure looked better than most of their Godzilla figures they have, but
Wait.
I
Are you
digress,
saying? So wait. Are you saying NECA was putting out quality figures for American movies as opposed to not so quality figures with? Is that what you're saying? Because the aliens, the predators, the gremlins, and you just said 2014, which is an American-made movie. I'm asking. Is that what you're saying?
I do have their 24-inch 2014 figure too, and it looks pretty good as well. I mean, that I would say that actually is a great figure. That 24-inch 2014 figure that I have, that figure is awesome. I love that figure because it's big, it's clunky, and it was the best $70 I spent. No, I wouldn't say best, but it was good. I don't know. To me, I don't know. It just felt like, to me, with the Godzilla line, it was like, I don't know. It felt almost personal.
Okay.
Like NECA, who in charge of NECA, you know what, kind of punished the Godzilla community a little bit, because the Godzilla community was not very kind to him, but it was because of his personality for the reason why. And so I think he may, when they brought it up, he kind of personally just was like, the figures will be what they be. And then, all that stuff with the King of the Monsters stuff with the Ghidorah figure that was supposed to come out, then never came out, and then tried to say it never was planned and all that crap when it was bullshit. I don't know. I just don't support NECA. I mean, I have one Predator or two Predators that are from NECA. One I bought when I was young and didn't know any better, and one was given to me, so it's fine. The Predator figures I don't mind. I love the NECA Predator figures. I think they're great. But like I said, when you look at the Godzilla stuff, it's definitely a big scratch on the head. Like, okay, why does this figure not look at least symmetrical? Why is one pupil in the lower corner of his jaw, and he has three fangs in the bottom jaw and one tooth in the middle of the mouth? It's like, come on, NECA, we can do a little better than that.
Where's the quality control?
Right. Well, that's the thing. There's maybe too much control. They need to leave a little quality leeway. It's like, we don't want these figures to look that good.
Yeah, we can't have movie-accurate figures for this movie-accurate line.
I know. You think if Andrew was on this podcast right now, he would be just melting. He would be fuming.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, that's NECA.
Yeah, well, it is upsetting. I get it. I totally understand. They're monster lines.
Especially because we haven't had a company make Godzilla figures that have been affordable, quote unquote, in a long time since Bandai. And Bandai was the go-to, and then NECA started doing stuff, and now it's like we don't really have anything until, we'll see what the Haya figures and the art spirit stuff and all that's going to be like when they come out. But at the meantime, we don't really have anything, so
yeah,
that's just the thing. If I'm going to pay money for a figure that I want the quality of it. I want what I paid for, and I think that's how everybody is.
I agree. That right there, I want what I pay for. That's how I go about getting my stuff. I want what I'm paying for. That's why, and it's not a knock to nobody, but that's why I never bought a Jakks Pacific Godzilla toy. I didn't buy a Playmates, Godzilla toy. I want what I pay for, and what I want, unfortunately for me, I want quality, so I'm gonna have to pay for quality. When I saw the Mezco Destroy All Monsters stuff, I said, you know what? That looks good. I want that. So I shelled out the, again, $75, $80, whatever it was. Times two, because I bought two sets.
Unfortunately, my girlfriend tells me she's not going to support my addiction anymore, so it sounds like Godzilla figures are going to be off the menu for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, she loves Godzilla, not as much as I do, but she loves Godzilla too. But she goes, she walked into my room the first time she came over, and she goes, "Wow, you have a lot of Godzilla stuff." And I'm like, "That's right. You got a problem with it?" No. And then towards the weeks and the months going further, it's just figures started getting put into a box without me knowing, to the point where the whole desk was cleared and put into a closet.
That's never a good thing. It's just like, listen, woman, this is my side.
It was me. It was me that did it for her, but I mean, I was kind of held at gunpoint. I'm just kidding.
We gotta start.
No. She's a girl. She wants her space for her stuff, and my desk was totally filled with Godzilla stuff. But that's the thing, being a boy, all my stuff was on my bed next to me, and when she got into the picture, it was like, well, now we need a space for her. So it was all out of courtesy and love.
And there it is. Love wins the day all the time. All the time. Until it doesn't.
Yep. Save the earth.
Save the earth with love.
Save the earth, love the earth.
Jesus. Well, that's the Godzilla. Well, I real quick before, some of the Godzilla merch you talked about in the beginning, like the Ghost 6 something. What now?
The Ghost X Ghost.
Ghost X Ghost, yeah.
It's Ghost X Ghost. Yeah.
I really liked that stuff. I liked that 54 Godzilla shirt. I mean, Cavity Colors was doing some stuff that was dope too. The Bioland t-shirt.
And they supposedly still are.
Right, which is crazy. So when you think about it, so now you got multiple clothing companies making some cool ass Godzilla, paraphernalia. I'm down, man. Like I said, I've got a ton of Godzilla shirts. I don't know where my wife buys.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen a couple at GameStop. Like I said, Kohl's, the Hot Topic.
FYE. The store FYE. If you want some of the most coolest Godzilla shirts, go to that website or go to one of those stores, and they have. It sucks because I'm not a 2X, and all their shirts unfortunately are 2X. They don't do 3X or 4X. And, but they have some of the coolest Godzilla shirts I've ever seen. They had the Godzilla 2000 shirt. They have some Shin Godzilla shirts. They have some of the 1991 Godzilla. Oh. They got tons of shirts in their stores and stuff. And it just sucks because I'm not a 2X. And it's like, man, I'm going to have to start losing weight to start fitting in 2Xs again. But it's like, that's going to be a while.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like, I'm a 2X, but I can't. I buy all my stuff 3X because I just like baggy clothes. Like, that's just me. It's always going to be me. I like loose fitting stuff.
That's how I am, too.
Yeah, I mean, and 2X is all right. But
also with your shirts being 100% cotton, they shrink.
Exactly. But yeah, man. So that's cool. And again, like, we've got stuff coming out. Whether we can wear it, whether we can play with them, it's there. And I just I hope Toho continues to let this go.
Yeah, we have tons of toy festivals coming out in the next couple of months too, and you have the film licensing thing that Toho always does in the summertime.
Oh, that's right.
So we might see stuff there, but also, we have stuff even going from the MonsterVerse right now. Like they just announced a plushie toy line of Kong Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. If you're into plushies,
saw that.
They look really cute and silly. If you're into that, but still, it's like there's Godzilla stuff that's everywhere, and you got to think about it. Toho shelling out this stuff is costing them some money, and that's what I like, is that Toho is starting to get this snowball rolling for merchandise, and hopefully soon, and a TV show, Godzilla's first TV show for Apple TV. That's going to be a big spectacle for us to see, hopefully as well too.
But wait,
and
wait,
that's a
wait.
big step for Toho.
We gotta be careful with that one because we don't know if it's a Godzilla show, or a Titan show. Because that's the thing. Like, is Godzilla gonna be featured, or is it just because of Godzilla creating the legendary monsterverse? You know what I mean? Where we just feature the other creatures.
Well, the synopsis was about a family following Monarch and had to do with them trying to Monarch secrets and following Godzilla and the Titans. So that was the main synopsis of what the show was supposed to be about. So
yeah.
I don't think the show was going to be strictly about Godzilla, but I expect Godzilla is going to be, of course, the main focal point.
One would hope. Well, we have to see and tread lightly on that. And what a wonderful segue into our next and final topic. Is there a
we
new?
Do that a lot.
Huh?
We do that a lot.
We do.
We segue pretty nicely.
And it's segue speculation time. Is there a new Toho Godzilla movie in the works? Is it in the works? Now, I'm going to ask G73 to find those articles he was telling me about so he can, give us the information while I just go off on a small tangent. So, Chase, if you will, could you look for those articles that's doing all that while I let these people know what I've heard and what hasn't been confirmed?
Yes.
So, Toho is in the midst right now of making a movie that may feature, I'm pretty sure, 90% sure, features a giant monster. It's supposedly set in a post-World War II world, but like legit post, like right after World War II ended. Not like in the 70s or the 80s or the 60s. It's like right after. And the speculation's running rampant that it might be a Godzilla movie. It might be a reboot of the Showa era. And I don't, and I say that because we've heard for now the past several years that Toho has been in the game and tossing around the idea that they want to make their own universe, cause universes sell now, right? We've seen what Marvel has done. We've seen Star Wars to an extent. Look at what Spider-Man is doing right now. As of right now, Spider-Man No Way Home is the third highest grossing movie of all time. That's insane. But there it is. And it's only been out for like 4 months. You see what I'm saying? So it's been speculated on that Toho they want to get into that game. They want to create this universe. And it's not like they haven't done it before. They've done it twice, in fact. A continuous universe, okay? The Millennium series is a bunch of separate stories outside of the Kiryu saga, which is, 2 movies in one. They've been just one-offs, each one. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's 2, and then here's 1. But the Showa and the Heisei series has always been... Heisei more has been more, connected. And Showa, and I said this in the last podcast, during Christmas break, I watched every single Godzilla movie. And as I'm watching the Showa movies, there is a definite through line between all those movies. They make sense. You can absolutely say, oh, this is all in the same continuity. And it works. So, but now that these universes are popular, well, Toho wants back on the action. And honestly, in my opinion, why not go for it? Because I would absolutely love to see a return to the old school form Godzilla with a brand new continuity. Bringing back all of the classic monsters, giving them all a separate movie, and leading to one gigantic destroy all monsters type of a film. I'm down for that. So, there again has been rumors that, well, not rumors, that Toho is making a monster movie. But is it Godzilla? And that's the thing. So I see Brother Chase, it looks like you are ready to rock and roll with the articles. You have them up?
Yeah, well, so the one main article that is talking about it, let's just get into some of the main points. A new Toho Kaiju film is requesting for extras and actors. The company has issued a call for extras on its official. So here's the thing: the official Godzilla Plus app. That's where this was originally announced. Which is Godzilla Plus is an app that's only available in Japan, and it's for kaiju movies and Godzilla stuff. As far as I'm aware, I don't know too much about the app, but most of the time it's Godzilla stuff. Let's make it a little more apparent. It's not an official Godzilla app, though. It's just one that's not like a Toho licensed app. It's just you know what I mean. It's going to be directed by the director Takashi Yamazaki, who is a huge Godzilla fan. Apparently, I don't know if I've heard of. Oh, he's the guy that did Always Sunny, or that Japanese thing with the Godzilla, and he did the ride CGI.
So he's all right. So what you're saying is
Godzilla ride.
He's the director of the movie that had the first Toho CGI Godzilla. I forgot. I think I want to say something Dream or I forget.
Sunset 23rd Street. I don't remember.
Yeah, but it came out a while back, and it featured this Godzilla. First off, I absolutely love that Godzilla, that CG Godzilla. And he loves Godzilla. That Godzilla was fantastic. That sequence, that dream sequence in the movie is fantastic. It's an absolute banger for Godzilla fans, even if it is like 3 minutes long, right?
And I was gonna say, and the Godzilla the ride, that Godzilla is a spawn of that CGI Godzilla.
Oh yeah, no, I was getting to that. And that's where I was going. But
we're on the same page then.
Yeah, that dream sequence and that It's Always Sunny or whatever that movie is called, fantastic. He threw that in there because he loved Godzilla. It was a Toho film, and they said, go ahead, go for it. And he did, and it was great. I know it got a response from us here on this part of the world. I don't know how, what the response was in the East, in Japan. But seeing it out here, all the Godzilla fans went nuts out here when we saw that. We were like, oh, they can do it. And that was it. They can do it.
Well, I remember when I saw it, too. I was like, holy shit, a new Godzilla movie. And then, lo and behold.
Right. But, like, my initial reaction was, oh, they can do a CG Godzilla movie. It's not like they can't. Look at that. You don't have to show Godzilla on the screen 100% of the time. You don't. So you can afford it. That was dope for its time, right? Now, that was 15 years ago, I want to say? Maybe
Gosh,
more?
I don't remember.
Let's say 15, 20 years ago. Where are we? 2022? 2004. Yeah, no, I would say about 15, 20 years ago. Absolutely. It was before Final Wars. So Final Wars came out in 2004. So yeah, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
More towards the 20. That being said, we got the Universal Japan Godzilla ride. That Godzilla right now is being touted as like the greatest looking Godzilla since Heisei. Like, let's not make no mistakes about it. This Godzilla, the ride Godzilla, is fantastic. And by the way, I also pre-ordered a statue of that bad boy, which cost me about $300, and I am waiting on that. I hope that is going to come because that money was actually taken out of my bank account. So fingers crossed. But that Godzilla is so freaking dope, and this man, he directed it, he created it, he did the whole thing. So now he's doing a kaiju movie for Toho, and I'm gonna let Brother Chase take it away again.
So here's another thing. A couple months ago, he did a tease on his Twitter of a Godzilla thing he wanted to do or something like that. I didn't see it, but that's another thing they're kind of bringing up in this article. I don't really remember. I didn't see it. I don't know if I follow this guy or not, but apparently he did some type of little teaser for showing his love for Godzilla. So there's another thing there. So as you can see, a lot of the dominoes are lining up for it being a Godzilla film. However, this is where it doesn't make sense to be a Godzilla film. The upcoming project will be set during 1945 and 1947. That's it.
No.
So unless they are completely rewriting Godzilla's atomic history to where it's not 1954, I don't see how this would be a Godzilla film.
Wait a minute.
So that's where I'm
Wait a minute. Now, I like to consider myself a history buff, but I will go to Google for this because that does work. And all things considered, that does work. This isn't going to be a continuation movie from the original 54. This, like Shin Godzilla, is going to be a brand new story, a brand new timeline. So let me just real quick say, hang on. Let's say Nagasaki. Boom. You can go right there. Okay. So, what was the years you said? 46,
1945 to 1947.
The atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and August 9th, 1945. So, with a brand new timeline, hypothetically, and I'm not saying this is what's happening, this is all pure speculation on our parts, right? We're not saying this is a Godzilla movie happening. But it could work. I know we're used to our Godzilla being, caught up in this radiation blast for a bit and then mutating into what we all know and love. But what's to say that there wasn't something already slumbering, kind of like the legendary Godzilla, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, who already had all of its abilities. It was just slumbering. And then all of a sudden, boom, it wakes up. And I'm not talking about it's a legendary Godzilla. I'm just saying they're taking that idea and they're making it a Toho version of it, right? It's not going to look like a legendary Godzilla. It'll probably look like Godzilla Ride, something similar to that, if this is what it is. Not saying this is it. I'm saying if this is what it is. Then it's very fucking plausible that if that movie takes place in those 2 years, after the atomic bomb dropped on both Hiroshima and Nagasaki, then absolutely they can have Godzilla appear if it's a Godzilla and if it's like the legendary version of Godzilla, which was an already atomic mutated dinosaur or whatever that thing was.
Well, it's like in the comic book for Godzilla Awakening. He was around way before the night. He was around since the beginning of time.
Yeah, exactly. He was a deity. He was a god. He was a god to the ancient civilizations.
Right. So it's possible it can definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, that's pretty much all we got on it. Except filming starts this month on the 22nd.
So think about it like this, right? Hey, check this out. This is crazy. You have a fan, a Godzilla fan, someone who loves Godzilla, and he's done a movie where he put Godzilla in the movie in a dream sequence, and then was able to direct not only Godzilla but King Ghidorah. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Rodan also in that ride?
Yeah.
So he directed 3 kaiju already, right? And now, given the opportunity to recreate a brand new Godzilla origin, okay? One that is not going to alienate fans. And, and again, we've all had our discussions with Shin Godzilla. However you felt about that movie, whether you loved it or you hated it, or you were indifferent, everybody had their same feelings toward it. But all of us as a collective whole loves that first Godzilla movie because it gave us Godzilla. Imagine if you were a Godzilla fan and are able to go and tap the original Godzilla, and make it brand new so we can start a brand new universe and bring it into today. What? So again, I'm not saying that this movie is that this is a Godzilla movie. All we know for certain is Toho is making a kaiju movie. They hired a director who loves Godzilla, and the timeline is between 1945 and 1947. That's all we know. But Toho created Godzilla. They hired a director who loves Godzilla. And Godzilla is a product of the atomic bomb. That's all we know.
What's interesting, thinking about it is, this basically would give Toho the ultimate retelling of just Godzilla, the way they want to tell it. I mean, 1954 will always be a staple, but we've never had, like, I don't know, a universe per se for Godzilla, and it could, they could do so much if that's the case,
No, agreed, and that's one of those things, like with Toho, like the show series. There was so much. There's so much there. There's so much rich material there. They nailed it. It's there. Do we want to go ahead and just remake all the Showa movies and make it modernized? I don't think that's going to be the case. If that's what they're doing, but to recreate these to origin stories to these creatures, I mean, look. I'm not the biggest fan of King of the Monsters, Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, but I love that Rodan comes out of a volcano in Mexico. I love it. I love that King Ghidorah was trapped in ice because of an ancient feud with Godzilla. I love that Mothra was in a temple in China. Like, I loved all that stuff. The mythology is there. And for them to take the mythology and just utilize it the way they did, I thought it was fucking excellent. Now imagine the creators doing that and reimagining the mythos. Give it to me.
Well, also think about Godzilla Singular Point. That technically, in a way, was a retelling of Godzilla itself, too. That had no connection to 1954 as far as I remember.
No, it didn't. I think the only connection, and I don't know if they ever gave a date, because honestly, the only episode I ever go back to is episode 10, which I just watched like this week, as a matter of fact. But the bones, I don't know if those bones came from 1954 or not. But those bones.
Yeah, maybe that's season 2 territory.
Yeah, but again, they might have mentioned it. I just don't know, because the only episode I ever go back to is that episode 10 when Godzilla
Singular Point was such a not the easiest show to follow, so it might have been mentioned if it did, and it just goes through one ear out the other. You know?
Yeah, no, I've come to appreciate. I mean, I did like Singular Point. I can't lie, but I've come to appreciate, again, just that one episode I watched. I've come to appreciate just the idea of Godzilla in that show. You know, and that's what I like. That it's a god of destruction, and it's almost like what they really wanted to do with Shin Godzilla, but probably didn't have the time or budget to do. You know, and I'm okay with that. And like I said, again, that last podcast, you can go and hear my new feelings on Shin Godzilla if you dare. But yeah, man, it's, again, all speculation. We cannot confirm that what Toho is making right now is a Godzilla movie. We cannot confirm that. All we can confirm is it's Toho with a director who absolutely loves Godzilla making a kaiju movie set around the events of the atomic bomb.
Yep.
You connect those dots.
And the fact that Toho has also been wanting to make new movies for a while.
Right.
So
it all
I mean, it just... Well, let's think about the I don't know the right words, but let's just think about the why would it not be Godzilla?
Oh.
Because here they are years ago stating that after Legendary's line is done, or when their contract for these movies are up, when they go to renegotiate, they want to go back and start making more movies again. Why on earth would Toho make a new kaiju film that's not Godzilla when they have been stating they've been wanting to go back and make new films? Now, that doesn't mean to say it still can't be something not Godzilla, and they're making Godzilla along with it, and they're not connected to each other. But why would you do that? Why would you do a kaiju film with a director that loves Godzilla, who has done 2 major things with Godzilla, to not do Godzilla? To me, it's like, of course, I don't want to just be like, it's obviously Godzilla, but there's that big, because of the what if, it's like, however, I mean, he's a big Godzilla fan. He just did a huge thing for the Godzilla ride that got such huge credibility and
the reaction.
Positive feedback from the Godzilla fans.
Yep.
I mean, the Godzilla community ate up that Godzilla ride CGI. Why would you not have that guy do your next Godzilla film? So I just don't understand what else it could be. I mean, I just think it would. It's either a Godzilla film is being made alongside it, or it's just a Godzilla film that's being made. I don't know why Toho would be like, oh, we're just going to do a movie of a giant monster. It's an original film. No clue how successful it's going to be. All original kaiju, we're just going to throw it out there, see how it does, and possibly lose tons of money off of it when we have a viable character who we're trying to market all over the world and make more movies with, but we're just going to wait. It makes no sense.
Or Toho is doing one of 2 things. One, they're not saying it's Godzilla, so they can sell the merchandise that they're licensing off right now that we talked about early on, right? So that if this movie does come out and it is a Godzilla movie, we go, oh, well, we got a new Godzilla. Now we can sell even more merchandise, right? With that Godzilla's face plastered
Which
on
is
it.
highly possible.
Right? Or Toho was like, well, we did Godzilla. Let's see if we can outdo ourselves. Remember, we don't know what's going on between Legendary and Toho as far as Godzilla is concerned, right? We could date Legendary can use Kong. Legendary can use all of its created MonsterVerse monsters. And again, like I said, I still don't know. You read off the plot synopsis. Godzilla is he going to be featured, or is he going to be, they can name drop Godzilla? What if Toho is saying, hey, we've already done that. Let them have that. Let's create a brand new IP. And let's see where we can go with this. Is that what I want? Not really. I would like to see another Godzilla movie. I like my Godzilla, always evolving. Let's get the next generation. But I wouldn't be mad if Toho decided to do something brand new and create a brand new universe from it. And who the fuck knows? Maybe, just maybe, Godzilla eventually folds into this universe. Like, what if this movie is banging the movie? And it's the origin point for Godzilla. Like, we don't know. It's all pure speculation right now. We don't know what Toho's doing except for Toho and the director. That's it. Those are the only entities that know what this is. All we know right now is Toho is making a kaiju movie with a director who loves kaiju and has done two things with Godzilla. Not loves kaiju, loves Godzilla, and has done two things with Godzilla that has gotten positive fan reaction. So, take that as you will, ladies and gentlemen. We're not saying this is a Godzilla movie. We're purely speculating. Right, Brother Chase?
Absolutely.
And you got anything to say before I go?
I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to just be like, yeah, it's a Godzilla film, but it just would be funny to me if Toho is like, yeah, we're just going to do a whole new kaiju film, not even worry about Godzilla, when
Hey,
people have been,
Hey, let me run you down a list. King Kong escapes. Frankenstein conquers the world. War of the Gargantuas. Varon the Invincible, even though that's not the original name. Rodan.
Wasn't
Mothra.
A Voyage into Space Toho too?
Yeah, but I don't know about that one. Atragon. You want to get into
With Johnny Sacco.
I don't know what that's an anime. No, that's not anime, but I know what you're talking about. We have Orochi, the eight-headed dragon. I don't know if that was Toho, but King Ghidorah's heads was certainly in that movie. All I'm saying is Toho has the Gorath. Toho has done kaiju movies outside of the Godzillaverse that were successful. Now, who's to say?
Digimon or the Samurai one?
We're not talking anime, Digimon.
No, not Digimon. The samurai statue thing.
No.
I don't remember.
I know you're talking about. No. Oh my God, Jesus! I can't. Wow. A Daimajin.
Yeah, I can never pronounce it.
So I always get confused because I don't know if that like Toho distributed it, but I don't think they made it. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is I wish I would have bought that trilogy when it was in my cart, and I was like, it's gonna go down in price, and then it never did because it sold out and went up in price. Damn it.
Yeah. Or Toho could have bought the license for Gamera finally. Toho bought Gamera, so now Gamera's a Toho monster, and they're going to be doing their Godzilla versus Gamera film, or Godzilla team up with Gamera film.
Man, could you?
One could hope.
Listen, all I'm saying is Toho has a track record of making other kaiju movies and making absolute solid hell. Some could even call them masterpieces. Look, I love Frankenstein Conquers the World. I think it's one of my favorite kaiju movies of all time. War of the Gargantuas blows my head off every time I watch it. I love those movies. They have nothing to do with Godzilla. Nothing to do with Godzilla. Rodan had nothing to do with Godzilla. Mothra had nothing to do with Godzilla. Toho was just like, we got this IP. Let's put it together. Look at Atragon. Look at Varon. They were in Destroy All Monsters. Manda was, you know. Manda was in Destroy All Monsters. That's from Atragon. Freaking Varon is there real quick, flies away. Baragon's in Frankenstein Conquers the World. Baragon's big role in a Godzilla movie didn't come until GMK. You know? So, they can do it. They can create brand new IP and make it work. Because the precedent is there. We've seen it happen. We haven't seen it happen in the Millennium series. Like, during that time, there was no new movies. But during the Heisei series, they did a Mothra trilogy. They did a Mothra trilogy, you know? And yeah, they used the King Ghidorah twice. You know, they made 3 versions of King Ghidorah. Death Ghidorah, Cretaceous Ghidorah, and fucking Grand King Ghidorah, which that's one of the best looking suits of all time. But think of that second Mothra movie. It was Dagora, the sea monster. It's crazy, you know? Mothra evolved. There was, you know, Mothra Leo. It was Mothra Leo. Then there was like ancient rock Mothra. I forgot what they called those things. Then there was like freaking rainbow Mothra. It was crazy. Like, what?
I remember having like rainbow Mothra toys.
I gotta be honest, I wish I had one. Because that trilogy, there was some dope ass designs in that trilogy. Like, I really dug those. I have a Leo. I have a Mothra Leo. But man, I wish I would have got like the fish Mothra Leo. Like, there's some cool designs. But that's my point. Toho has done it before. And yes, they used Mothra, which was an original IP, but it didn't matter. Like, that series did not connect to the Godzilla verse. You know? They just used the Mothra puppet from Godzilla versus Mothra Battle of Earth or Battle for Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They can. I
remember. I was lucky enough. I went to FYE. Yeah, I live right down the street from an FYE, so I'm always there looking for Godzilla stuff. And they had a copy of the Mothra Rebirth trilogy on their shelf, and I took that. So I'm happy I got that out in the wilds.
Yeah, I need to revisit that. It's been a very long time. I remember the last time I saw it, I was like, all right, this is definitely for children. That's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, I watched the first one, but I haven't watched the other two. It kind of threw me off, but I plan to eventually, when I get drunk enough, sit down and watch them.
If I'm not mistaken, the second one has this little furry, fuzzy puppet thing piss on somebody. It's hysterical.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's hysterical. But no, you know, I digress. All I'm saying is Toho has done it before. They've created different things outside of the Godzilla universe that involved kaiju that absolutely worked. And again, I go back to, you know, Frankenstein Conquers the World, War of the Gargantuas, Rodan, Mothra, before they were a part of the Godzilla universe, were standalone movies that absolutely worked. Varon, I love that movie. That original movie I absolutely love. Has nothing to do with Godzilla except for a cameo in Destroy All Monsters. All it does is fly away. It's not even in the same universe, in my opinion. These are the things that I'm like, I love it. I mean, fuck, what if they're making a Varon remake? No, we're not doing Godzilla, we're doing Varon. And that's the whole thing. Again, that's all the speculation. That's all it is. That's all it is. But final thoughts, brother?
It's going to be interesting seeing the next couple of months and what next year is going to have the hold for Godzilla. I'm excited to see what comes up with this. I mean, I personally think it's kind of maybe a 60-50 shot of if it's a Godzilla film or not. But I'm looking forward to whatever comes.
Agreed.
Either way, we got a lot of Godzilla on the way.
Yeah, whether this is Godzilla or not, you're right. We got a lot of Godzilla stuff coming, and hopefully we get a ton of cool Mezco stuff at a decent price. And if this is a Godzilla movie happening, I'm down for it. If not, I'm still down for it. It's Toho. It's a man who loves kaiju movies, and yeah, and it's a kaiju film, so we know that. Again, 3 definite facts. I'm in. But that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party. For Brother Chase, my brother, thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. Not thank you. What? It's a long day. Thank you for being with me, brother.
He shouldn't have drank that big old mug of beer. That was like, what, a 72 ounce? No, this was fun. I was glad to be on, and I'm happy I was able to make it. So I'm excited for the next one. Talk some more.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening to us. Again, if you haven't listened to the last podcast, please go check that one out. That one's fun. The SI retrospective. We had special guest Shinra Jira on. It was just a great time. We had a really cool back and forth. It's just fun. And yeah, that's it. So that'll do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party, ladies and gentlemen. I am G1, and we are out of here. Peace.